Oh, Canada. Stop being so insane. This is one of the craziest stories I've seen all year. From CBC, Manitoba man jailed after judge says justified self-defense went too far, killing home intruder. So this man's going to jail for going too far when retaliating against somebody who broke into his home. It gets crazier. A Manitoba judge says a man was justified in trying to defend himself from a late-night intruder, but sentenced him to jail time for killing the intruder when he took that defense too far. Dakota Pratt, 28, was sentenced on Thursday to 5 years in prison after a jury at Brandon's Court of Queen's Bench found him guilty in April of manslaughter in the attack that killed Vincent Bunn. Pratt, who was asleep in a basement bedroom, awoke to a feeling of being stabbed in the head, court heard. He got up and found a knife-wielding intruder in his room, and not knowing who the person was, chased him into the hallway. Mr. Pratt was the victim of unprovoked assault and knew he was in a struggle for his own life. The defense lawyer said, "This is not waking up to someone yelling at you. Someone's cutting his head open. That's somebody who is showing from the beginning how serious they are." So this guy got stabbed in the head, retaliated, and killed the person who broke into his home to stab him in the head, and he's now going to jail for years for defending himself. Properly, might I add. He was justified in taking defensive action, but the jury has concluded that his taking the knife of Mr. Bunn and stabbing him multiple times went beyond what is necessary for self-defense. So apparently in Canada, they're so liberal that as a criminal breaking into somebody's house and stabbing them in the head, you have more rights than the person whose house it is getting stabbed in the head. You should defend yourself, but don't go that far. They're trying to kill you, but if you kill somebody who broke into your house, I'm sorry, if somebody breaks into your house, even if they don't stab you, I personally believe you have the right to do whatever you want. Somebody should not be breaking into your house, and you shouldn't have to wait around to see what they do once they illegally break into your house. Especially if somebody stabs you in the head, at that point, obviously, I believe you're justified to do whatever you want to the person who broke into your house and stabbed you in the head. But in Canada, that's a crime. It's literally turning into opposite world there. Is it any surprise that Canada's sprinting right wing? Alberta, right wing. Ontario, right wing. Quebec, right wing. And when Justin Trudeau is gone, I guarantee you conservatives will win that too. And all I'm saying is, regardless of how you feel politically, it shouldn't be a surprise why the entire country is going right wing. With stories like this, why wouldn't they? And the most annoying part about it is how the media acts oblivious to why it's happening. Oh, it must be the extremists, or it must be this race, or this gender, or that bigotry. No, it's the fact that you guys are so psychotically insane that even normal liberals or lifelong Democrats or lifelong left-wing voters are sprinting to the right wing for self-preservation. Let's see, who's not gonna throw me in jail for defending myself after somebody breaks into my house and attacks me with a knife? I've been very liberal my whole life. I don't care who you are, what you do. I believe in true social justice, not this fake social justice that they're doing. But at this point, I would never vote for anybody like a Justin Trudeau or a left-wing candidate ever again. Sometimes I agree with them on foreign policy. Sometimes I think they have some good ideas. But overall, the whole ideology is just weakness, cowardice, self-hatred, bending over backwards for true criminals and terrorists, ignoring real prison reform, which is going on that they don't seem to care about, attacking people who want to defend themselves, and putting them in jail for properly defending themselves. Share this story. If you live in Canada, I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. It's already in Europe, and it's starting to come to America now, and most rational people don't want it to happen. So all I ask is, please, if you're a media journalist or pundit or celebrity and you can't figure out why the right wing is doing better in Europe, United States, and Canada, look no further than stories like this, which are becoming more and more and more and more and more common, and more and more and more and more and more unbelievable and insane. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Stop regurgitating the same talking points over and over with you and your elite journalist friends, and you can't figure out why nobody agrees with you. Look at this story and ask yourself, what in the world is going on in Canada, and put an end to it, or people will do that in the voting booth. I'm so sorry to anybody who gets sentenced like this guy for defending yourself in your home. It's unacceptable. I also want to show some love to Corey Brandon, the lead singer of Norma Jean, who tweeted this morning, "A man in Canada woke up to being stabbed in the head. He got position and defended himself. They put him in prison for taking his self-defense too far. Have a wonderful day." This is where I saw that story, and then I looked it up, found it on the CBC, and reported on it. So thank you, Corey, for being on it. That's why I covered the story.